Like God.
Is your favorite rapper of all time? Go.
Biggie Smalls is the illest.
Occasionally, I do something called the 5-star shout out. I love to say this line. I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in you can't make you know what I'm talking about.
Well. Good morning. I know y'all can hear me, but y'all can't see me. Going through some technical difficulties, but this is the Side Jawn, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing? With my co-host, the Chocolate Girl. Chocolate Girl, how you doing, baby?
Chocolate Girl is doing well today. Had a good week, and it's Saturday, my favorite day of the week. So yeah, Chocolate Girl's doing well. How about yourself? And how about you, Tanya, our special guest?
Good morning. I am doing great. It's Saturday. It's my off day and work day at the same time.
Oh,
I understand that.
Yes,
I,
yes.
I don't understand that, but we're gonna get to that. I
That's
don't
what
know.
happens when you have more than one job.
Right.
Yeah, and I should know that. So
Yes, you should.
Right,
because I always got more than one job.
With
But
your 90 million podcasts and
right.
10 jobs.
work
I'm
work
sorry, my
hard.
nose is just, oh my God, today.
We work hard over here, but yes, I've had a very good week. Things have been good. Um, just working, none major, just working. But like I said, like you said, today we do have a special guest. We got Tanya in the building from Travel Bliss. She is here to teach us all about her business. With this, especially being Women's Month. This is it International Women's Month? Am I saying this right?
Yeah.
Or national
Well, today is International Women's Day, and
Oh,
day.
today's International
and
Women's
the
Day.
month is International Women's Month. hmm
Okay.
Today
Okay.
is the actual day that's celebrated for us women.
Yes. Yeah. And y'all deserve it. Most definitely.
Yes, we
Most
do.
definitely is y'all
Yes.
deserve it. Now,
Especially when they're trying to take our rights away. Anyway, sorry.
Exactly.
oh Lord.
Don't go down that rabbit hole.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now one thing I want to know is from you though, Tanya, is where did this come from to say, you wanted to be a travel agent?
Well, I have always enjoyed travel. Always. I couldn't always do it as often as I wanted to, with obligations for work and kids and family. I couldn't travel the way I wanted to, but I've always enjoyed traveling. Interestingly enough, maybe about 25 years ago now, I got my palm read just on a whim. And someone told me that I would be doing a lot of traveling in my 40s and 50s. I was in my early 30s at the time. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And so apparently what he said came to fruition because here I am doing not only traveling, providing travel services, travel agent services to people, groups, individuals, and the like.
Okay. All right. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. Usually when I used to hear about travel agents, I used to think that they was just somebody trying to get some extra money out of people. I really didn't think that they knew what they was doing. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, so, yeah, I used to have these girls that I knew, like, oh yeah, we travel agents. Like, oh, y'all out there scheming people. Everybody listening, you might want to hear that BS. That's usually what I used to think. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's what I used to think.
Well, Dennis, with the kind of girls you telling me you deal with, I'm not surprised you felt that way.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be
No,
honest.
I'm
It
not.
wasn't. It wasn't until I started flying, which was 8 years ago. So I started flying that I actually started to put more respect on travel agents' name.
and we
That's when
appreciate
it
that.
happened. Then
Mhm.
well until I started flying. Now, when did your travel agent business start?
I started my business in 2023 again on a whim, which is kind of the story of my life. And I'll say that there is a lot of travel recruitment going on now. And so it gives the perception that travel is something anybody can do. And it gives the perception that the travel business is an easy business, both of which are false. You can say that you're a travel agent and you can start even booking travel, but there's so much more to the industry than just that. Um, it's a it's marketing, it's finance, you have to have good business acumen. Like there's a lot to it. It's not just booking travel. You have to manage people's finances and payments, and you have to make sure that all your business stuff is lined up because you can get taken to court for what you book somebody in if you don't have all your ducks in a row.
I didn't know
Uh,
that.
oh yeah, oh yeah. If people, well, you can get taken to court for almost anything, but if
Mhm.
people don't like the service that you've provided, even if this is what they asked for, if they don't like the resort that you've booked them, even if that's what they asked for, they can feel that they're entitled to a refund, even if they're not, and they can pursue the legal side of things. And so you have to be prepared for that part, insurance wise. So you got to have all your ducks in a row when you're embarking on travel. And these are the things that people don't know about. These are the things that the people that are recruiting you to be a travel agent won't tell you about because who wants to talk about the dark side of it? They just want to, oh, you'll be able to travel for free and you'll be able to, go all these places. None of that, which is necessarily true. You have to earn free travel. You don't just get it because you're a travel agent.
Right.
Yeah.
No, no. And I used to think that y'all get like big percentages, but that's stuff that you also had to earn. That's what I was told.
Yeah, and the
Mhm.
travel industry for travel agents has changed. It's not the 80s anymore. The internet is here. So everybody feels like they can just book an Airbnb or go on Expedia and book a trip. And there's so much more to it than just that. What you're getting when you use those sites is the cheapest things they can offer, things that they want to get rid of,
Mhm.
and usually it's a cheap bottom of the barrel experience. If you prefer an upper tier experience, maybe even a luxury or a bespoke experience, you definitely want to get with a travel agent because we are the people that can make that happen. But if you don't care where you stay, you're okay with, just a low level to mid tier travel, then, have at booking.com. Have at it. I
Okay.
provide a higher level of service and you have someone to book your travel. Like, just like I don't clean my own house, I hate to say that. I have people that come and clean because I like to contribute to the economy. Obviously, they're a small business and I don't want to spend my Saturday cleaning. I'd rather spend my Saturday booking travel.
Got you.
So, yeah. So don't
Mhm.
spend your time booking your travel, spend your time traveling and
Oh,
engage a travel agent.
okay. All right. Well, here's my thing. Um, I see a lot of travel agents out there, and I'm
Mhm.
not, pointing a finger at nobody out there, but is to me, it seems like it's rare to find a travel agent that is doing cruises. Like cruises are more like a pop up thing. Like you'll see a travel agent you've been following, the next thing you know, oh, I got a cruise going on for sale. Like, oh wait, they do cruises too? Like, why is it so
Yeah.
rare?
Cruises are a tricky industry. And there's a lot of cruise lines. Unlike when you're booking regular air travel or land travel, it's kind of the same across the board. You have an airline, you have a resort, like it's all the same. Each cruise line is different. They
Mhm.
have different codes that you have to use. They have different promotions that you can use. There's a lot of different things that go into a cruise that don't aren't applicable to air and land travel. So it's a whole different monster. It takes a lot of diligence, organization. Things can get messed up. And I know you've seen that in the news. People, oh, they show up to their cruise and they don't have a reservation and it can be a mess. I would say that if you're going to book travel with a travel agent, make sure you have vetted that agent, make sure they have a reputation for doing cruises or group cruises because you're entrusting them with your money. When you do a cruise with a travel agent, you're paying the travel agent. The travel agent is then paying the cruise line. That takes some trust. You don't want to deal with anybody that doesn't have a business license, that doesn't have a CLIA card, which is a Cruise Line International Association card. That means they're licensed basically to do cruises. So there's some qualifications that you want to look at before you start engaging any old body that says, I'm a travel agent to do your group cruise, or even your individual cruise. You're entrusting them with your money. So you need to be a lot more careful.
Thank you for that. Did not know nothing about none of that.
Yeah.
Let me let you know, did not know nothing about none of that.
Yeah.
Glad we're doing this interview. This is great. I'm
Right.
learning a lot of new stuff.
Yes.
This is real good. Now, all right, with your experience, what is your favorite airline?
So I have a couple airlines that I deal with. And this is going to shock a lot of people when I tell you what my number one airline is. Spirit.
This is my favorite. You
Oh,
on
you're
mute.
muted. Chocolate girl, you muted.
I'm sorry. I'm not shocked because I read that they were the safest airline for
Okay.
2024. So I'm
They
not
get
shocked.
a total bad rap. And I will say that I was guilty of also giving them a bad rap until I flew them. The plane was immaculate. The service was top tier. Now, granted, I was in the big seat in in the front. I flew in the back in the smaller seats, and I was like, "Oh, it's a little snug back here." So I definitely up booked my return. But the airline was immaculate. The service was immaculate. It was the cheapest flight I think I've ever flown, and it was a nonstop from Baltimore to Cancun. And it just was a great flight. Now, I will tell you this is where people run into issues with Spirit. Spirit is an airline that doesn't fly everywhere every day. So that's why there are issues with Spirit sometimes. If you need to leave early, Spirit may fly to a destination Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Your
Yeah.
Wednesday flight gets canceled, so you want to leave on Thursday. Well, they don't fly out until Friday. So, and then the Friday flight might be booked. So you might get pushed all the way to Monday. So people don't understand how airlines work. And then they get mad and they say, this airline sucks because of this, and this, not really understanding they're not going to create a flight for you on a day that they ain't flying. So that's part of it. Okay. So Spirit is number one. Number two is Southwest, just because of the availability of routes. Um, the fact that you can now pay with points and money. I really like that part. And I like the open seating. I like to be able to just pick my seat. I'm a person that doesn't like to be boxed into a dedicated seat. Sometimes I might be feeling over the wing or the window or the aisle. I like to decide that once I get on the flight. My third is American. I have an American credit card, so I use them um, when I am flying longer distances or international. I like that they have a main plus option. I have a tall son who is 6'5", and those smaller seats just do not work. So American has that main plus where you have way more leg room. Like he's got space even after the seat, and you get free drinks. So Spirit, Southwest, American.
I'm gonna have to agree with the American thing with the seats because
Yeah.
I also got on American because I felt as though American seats was about the smallest Spirit seats. That's what I started to feel like.
Yeah. If you're not a main plus or extra
Yeah.
legroom seat,
Well, I
they're
ain't
all
really.
the same. They're all super duper small, and it
Yeah.
depends on what aircraft you're on too. I've noticed.
Yeah. Only airline I do not like, and maybe I need to give them another round, but it's United.
I
United
haven't been
Airline.
on them in a long time.
They lost my luggage, so and June Pierre is here. They
Oh,
lost my luggage.
that story. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
I had my
I
luggage.
remember that.
Right. I've heard
I
that story. Yes.
had my
What,
luggage lost for a week, and I ain't get nothing for it. June, on the other hand, called them up. They didn't give him a whole free flight. They ain't give me nothing.
Oh, now you got to talk for yours. You don't just
yeah,
let things happen.
right.
Yeah, you gotta
Oh, my
talk for you.
bad. BJ lost his stuff too. My bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
golly.
Well, Tanya, what do you think about Delta?
Uh, I don't. I haven't flown them in years, so I don't have an opinion.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I
Mm-mm.
flew them recently. It was impeccable. I really enjoyed the whole experience, really.
See, and a lot of times it's whose hub is where. I think, maybe I don't think Delta is a big is I don't know.
Delta's in Atlanta.
Yeah, see, out of Baltimore, my selection may be different. And I don't fly out of
Mhm.
DC. Yeah, I haven't flown Delta. Oh, I want to give an honorable mention to Air Canada, which I know that's completely left, but I flew to Toronto recently
Mhm.
and top tier service. Small plane. Lord, that plane was small, but it was top tier. So like too small to even really put your uh carry on, roll on in the
Uh-huh.
overhead. The overheads were small. This is how small that plane was. They
Wow.
was like, yeah, let's check your luggage because the overhead is too
Mhm.
small. But top tier service, very clean airline on time, which is important. And I don't know if anybody's ever been to Toronto Airport, but whew, bomb airport.
Hmm.
You get
No,
you get out the plane outside now.
I,
They have you walking from the it's
like
freezing.
the old days when
Like
you
the
had to
old
walk
days,
from
or
the
like we're
plane to
perhaps
the
in Hawaii. I'm like, we're in Toronto,
uh-huh.
right? It's cold. The wind is, I have to bundle up to get off the plane. So other
Yeah.
than that, Air Canada is a great airline.
Yeah, that's how they all used to be back in the
Yeah.
day when
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
started
Yeah.
flying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that as a little girl.
Mhm.
It's still like that in Burbank only. That's the only airport in that I've ever been to otherwise is Burbank Airport where you get off and you walk to your plane and it all feels very 70s glamour movie star when it's nice and warm. When you in Canada,
Mhm.
it's like, could we hurry up and get inside? Y'all walking too. So I was walking around people. Yeah. Where's the thing?
Right. That's
Yeah.
when you used to
The
dress
jet
up.
bridge.
You used to dress up to travel. Everybody got dressed up to fly on planes. You didn't go on planes with pajama bottoms on and flip flops. You just didn't dress that way back then. When
Yeah,
we
I
flew,
don't
we
fly
put
like
on our
that.
Sunday best to fly. That's
Yeah,
what
I
we
mean,
did.
I don't dress up, but I don't have my toes out because that's not a good thing. Just in an emergency situation,
Right,
you don't want your toes out.
right.
So I do cover my toes now just out of an abundance of caution.
Sister,
I
Sister
agree with that.
Sheila's in the comments. What's up, Sister Sheila?
I agree with that.
Hey, Sheila. Oh, Delta is her favorite airline. Is she in Atlanta or where does she fly out of?
No,
North Carolina.
she's here, North Carolina.
Okay.
We
Okay.
fly
Yeah,
out.
a lot of
We fly
people
out of
didn't take
Raleigh.
Delta.
A
Okay.
lot of times when we take flights, we go to Atlanta and then to our destination, or we go to Charlotte
Mm.
and then to our destination.
Yeah,
And it's
Charlotte is a
usually
huge
Delta
hub.
that she flies. She gets the best deals that way anyway. And plus, it's a good airline,
Mhm.
very good airline.
Delta's a huge. I mean, Charlotte Airport, I think, has picked up exponentially since I lived in Charlotte. I lived in Charlotte from 2009 to 2010 or 8 to 9. Yeah, 2009 to 2010. And Charlotte Airport was just a regular old airport back then, but now that joker is popping. And they done remodeled, so it is always packed to the gills when I go through there or land there. I'm
Oh,
like, what is
always.
happening here? But I think
Hmm.
the population of Charlotte also has picked up exponentially too. So that's part of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing I was going to ask you about the whole airline situation. Is there an airline that you won't travel on again?
I don't have that. I'll
Okay.
try anything once. I haven't been on Frontier. Um
Oh, they
Yes,
like
I
they
know
like
that's another
spirits.
budget airline. Yeah.
That's spirits cousin. No, you ain't missing that.
But no, I don't have one that I won't travel on again. But we'll see. You know, that list is open. I don't have a problem putting something on there. So
Okay.
let's circle back on that.
We'll circle back on that. What have been some of your favorite places to visit before
Oh
you became a
man.
travel agent? Before you became a travel agent.
So you already know that the Dominican Republic is my bay.
Damn,
Okay.
can't wait till we go back, baby.
Can't wait till we go back. That is my bay. That is my retirement home. I am 100% positive I will be in the Dominican Republic in retirement or before, depending on what Trump and Elon Muskrat face decide is going to happen.
That's great.
Did she call him Elon Muskrat face? Hey yo.
Yes, I did.
I'm still in that.
I try not to utter either name, so I just
Well, right, right. So depending on what they decide is going to be my fate, I may be there beforehand. We'll see. Also, I want to spend some time in Thailand because number one, it just seems so exotic. I have a trip, actually a group trip going to Thailand next year. So if you're interested, holla at your girl. But Thailand has a growing Black expat population.
Yep.
It is very affordable, and it's just so different from the United States. You know, you can kind of scale your life down, which I don't have a problem with. You know, I have a lot of things. Let me just say that. But I've accumulated a lot of things in life, but I don't have a problem scaling it down. Not having a car, not having to even worry about that because you kind of have money where you can pay for a driver or you can have people come in and cook for you a couple times a week. Like I wouldn't mind that life. It's something that I couldn't afford in the United States, but I definitely could afford it in a third world country, and I would be contributing to their overall, GDP. So I don't have an issue with it. So between the DR, is my favorite place to travel so far, but I will be spending time in retirement in Thailand. Went to Costa Rica last year, and I definitely want to go back to Costa Rica. I think that's a country that we should also go to. You know, be careful everywhere you go. There's crime everywhere, but Costa Rica is definitely another country that I want to go to. Believe it or not, I've never been to Jamaica.
I
I know
haven't
that.
either. And I'm
Yeah.
waiting for you to
So,
book that trip.
okay. So next year, sometime between Thailand and, oh gosh, yeah, we'll go to Jamaica next year. I'm
You
gonna do
go
a
to
trip.
Jamaica. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
But
do
I
a trip
have
to
been to the
Jamaica.
Bahamas, and that's one of my favorite spots.
Yes, I've been to the Bahamas as well. Bahamas
Yeah.
was beautiful. The Caribbean, my family is from Trinidad and Louisiana. So the Caribbean is in my blood. So that's always going to be on the list for me. Uh, yeah, we'll do the Jamaica trip. I'm now I done got preoccupied with that, but yeah, well, the Caribbean is my other favorite spot. So DR, and the DR is part of the Caribbean. It's just Spanish speaking.
Right.
So at Puerto Rico, oh,
San Juan, Puerto Rico.
if you go out to the countryside in Puerto Rico, it is beautiful to like the rainforest. Oh, yeah.
I actually, well, you know me, I like going to the hood. So I went to the hood side where the drug
Uh,
dealers was at.
yeah,
Yeah.
in Old San Juan.
In Old San Juan, yeah.
Hmm.
Right where
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony got his basketball court at, right around
Yep.
there.
Yep. I've been through there. I didn't go down there. My son went down there. I didn't go down there.
Yeah,
I can't remember the name of it, but yeah. San Juan is
only
beautiful.
thing
Puerto
I didn't
Rico is
do, I didn't
beautiful.
eat that mofongo. Am I saying it right?
It's Mofongo. Yeah.
Mofongo, yeah, I didn't eat that mofongo.
Yeah, I did. I like San Juan because you can speak English, and I don't want to be that American where everybody should speak English. But technically, Puerto Rico is part of the United States. People don't realize that.
Yeah.
So it's very United States like, but you're in a foreign country at the same time. So it's like the best of both worlds.
I've always wanted to go to Jamaica.
Okay, well,
I've
we're going on a
always
trip
wanted to
next
go to
year.
Jamaica since I was a
Okay.
little girl.
We're
Always.
going on a trip next year, so just be prepared. I just booked a group trip to Jamaica, and the whole time I'm like, I wonder would they mind if I went on their group trip. I won't bother y'all. I'll just be there if you
You
need
just
me.
be there.
I'll just be there. I'll do other things. I don't have to be a part of your group at all, but I might tag along. So we'll see. We might be doing a boat group trip. They'll just be doing their thing and we'll be doing our thing. So we'll get it
Hmm.
together. I actually really am thinking about that. So get ready. It's May 28th or June 2nd
Of this year?
no, of 2026.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
See, I have to get over my fear of flying over large bodies of water.
Yeah, we're gonna sit you in the middle seat. That's all. You
Just
ain't gonna do it.
flying over large bodies of water. That's
Oh,
my
I
only
have
fear.
something for you. I put this in my swag bags for my clients, actually.
Oh, okay. What is that?
It's called Super Calm.
I see.
And it's
Is it
just
like
a little, it's
it's a
all
gummy?
natural. No, 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 no. It's a
No,
no. It's a drink
I don't.
mix. It's
Oh, a drink
non
mix.
it's a
Okay.
drink mix and it's not like weed. It's just like
Oh
some
no, no,
kind of
no. I
natural
wouldn't take
thing.
that.
Okay,
So
yeah, yeah.
what is it supposed to do? I know it says super calm or whatever, but what is it supposed to
So
do?
it has these active ingredients, three active ingredients. Ashwagandha,
Oh yeah.
L-theanine,
Mm.
magnesium, glycinate, and vitamin D3 to make you feel calm and collected. So now I'm going to start putting these in all my swag bags. So we'll definitely bring that to Jamaica
And let
for
me
you.
let me just let you know, her
Huh.
swag bag is filled with a lot of good things. I'm still using a lot of stuff in my house from the swag bag. Just want to let you know that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that bag. If I didn't say it then, I'm gonna say it now. I
So
Oh,
appreciate that
thank
bag.
you.
I
Thank you.
guess your
Yes.
swag bag is part of the benefits of using a travel agent versus just going online trying to book it yourself. I will say I have never used a travel agent.
Hmm.
I've never
Yeah.
gotten any goodies because of that. So, I mean, I've booked, I use what you call it, hotel.com and all that booking, that's the one, booking.com.
Hmm.
And I always had good luck though. I
Yeah.
always had good luck. Whenever I had to cancel at the last minute, they gave me full refunds. I didn't have
Yeah.
any issues with them.
Yeah.
But to do a whole experience is something different.
Right.
I would have to call them and contact this and compare and contrast and do all that stuff. But isn't it better for the client to actually just deal with you, the travel agent, and let you use your expertise to give the best experience? That's what I'm feeling.
Exactly. Especially when you're adding in. So you're just booking a hotel. That's
Mhm.
easy enough. But say you're going to Europe, say you want to go to two countries, say you want to have tours, say you need to get from your from the airport to the hotel and you need to
Mhm.
coordinate your tours with that. You want a certain kind of room, you want a certain kind of service. Like all of these things, all of that is work for you. And that could be it's taken me sometimes a week to coordinate people's trips. That's a week out of your time, and then you have to travel, and the whole time you're concerned with, is this going to be right? Is that going to be, am I going to, did I remember to do this? Did I remember to do that? When I go on vacation, I don't want to worry about all that. I have
Mhm.
actually travel agent friends that I book through
Oh,
because
okay.
I don't want to worry about all that. Like, and
Mhm.
I do it all the time for people. So depending on, and because there are some agents that specialize in, say, I wanted to, do a river cruise in Greece or, whatever. There are people that specialize in certain things. My niche is over 40 travel. So I'm kind of across the board. I kind of dibble and dabble in every area of travel. So you can, pretty much book everything with me, but the specialization comes in that I know that people that are over 40 are not going to want the same experience as people that are in their 20s. We're not necessarily concerned with getting everything on Instagram and having these Instagrammable moments. We are there
Right.
for the experience. We want the
Mhm.
culture. We want to see, off the touristy path sometimes. Whereas
Mhm.
people in their 20s, they just want to go somewhere and they can take pretty pictures. When they go to Greece, they want to make sure they get the three blue houses that are in Santorini. They have to see
Mhm.
those. They want to do a photo shoot here. People that are over 40 and don't necessarily care about that kind of thing. Maybe they have some
Mhm.
mobility challenges and they can't tour Santorini because Santorini is all walking. and it's
Yeah,
up a hill. Everything's
I
on the
was gonna
side of a
say
hill. Right, right.
it's uneven terrain.
Right. And I mean, it's a city full of donkeys and donkey excrement. I'll say that. So, that might not be something that you want to be bothered with. You might just want to be at a resort and get your mind right. So it all depends. They don't have
Mhm.
the stresses in life that we have over 40 or over 50. So we want different experiences than they do. So that's where an
Okay.
agent that specializes in over 40 travel comes in.
Well, hold
Well,
on. We got a fan question. Let's
yeah,
get
we
the
got good
question out the way.
questions coming in. This is good stuff,
Yes.
Tanya. Really good questions.
Awesome.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Dennis.
Okay. Trisha Joy in the building. Hell of a show last night, Trisha. Let me tell you that. And I need more of them,
I was
Trisha
there.
Joy.
I was there.
I need more of them, Trisha Joy. Not just when LeBron feel like he got a attitude. Let me get that part out the way, okay? I need more Trisha Joy shows.
I'm
All right.
still working
I'm a
on them.
little
Still
upset.
working on them.
I
Mhm.
gotta wait for LeBron to go ahead and punk Stephen A. Smith to get a Trisha Joy show. Ain't this about it? Never mind. I'm sorry. Let me get to the question. Hey, what's the most expensive trip that you booked for a client?
And referencing the trip I was just talking about, like Santorini and Italy, it was a trip for a childhood friend of mine. Believe it or not, in the travel agency, we always say friends and family are not your best clients, but not in this case. She entrusted me with her lovely European vacation. It was an all lux European vacation.
Ooh,
And yeah. So they were gone for about 12 days and it was about 35,000.
wow.
That's a lot of money.
It was awesome. She said it was the best vacation of her life.
It got to be for that much money. It just made me.
Well,
That's
hey,
It is.
I'm just glad she was able to afford to do that. That's a
Oh, yeah.
blessing right there.
That
That
is a
is a
blessing.
blessing.
I
all
Mhm.
right.
so wanted to be their silent third.
To
So
drop that
I'll
kind of
be
money.
real quiet. I'll go get y'all lunch and
Mhm.
everything.
Right. You
All
got
right.
some
Now,
errands for me? I'll run them. You just chill. You
all
just
right.
chill.
Now,
Exactly.
sister
Exactly.
Sheila said, do you deal with business travel?
I don't, but I can because I've done business travel in my professional life. I'm very adept to business travel, so I'm open to business clients for sure.
Okay. All right.
We may
Tahiti's a
have
lovely place.
to.
Okay, that's from Ryan Birdcage
Yeah,
LLC, who also had a
Tahiti.
great show last night that I was
Tahiti,
listening to.
Fiji. Man, I just booked a trip for people, two ladies to go to Fiji, and so now I want to go to Fiji. And that's another problem. Well, not a problem, but that's one of the side effects of being a travel agent. When you book exotic destinations, you're like,
Mhm.
okay,
I
that's where
want
I'm
to
going
go.
next.
All right.
What about Belize? What about Belize?
So I am on the waiting list for a FAM, which is called a what travel agents get to go on these FAM trips, which
Mhm.
are specifically for travel agents to go to these destinations, and they're discounted. But I'm on a FAM trip wait list for Belize because I really want to go to Belize. Now it's not
Yes.
easy to get there.
Hmm.
It's kind of like Maldives where you take a main flight, then you have kind of these puddle jumper things afterwards. So it's
Hmm.
not easy to get to, but it's definitely worth it once you get there.
Okay, now here's my question. I've been hearing these stories about these real IDs. Now, what's
Yes.
the thing about these real IDs? Because I'm kind of lost here.
Well, it's not a story. It's real. You need to get it, and it's now the date is approaching fast because it's like May 7th, I don't know the exact date, but May of 2025, you need to have your real ID and you need to have your real ID for domestic travel. Not even talking about passport for international travel. This is for domestic travel. So you definitely need to have your real ID. And it's not something it's there's no mystery. You just go to the DMV and get it.
Well,
Oh,
here was the
really?
story.
That's it?
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you the stories I
Yeah,
heard. Everybody keep telling me that their DMV is backed up because of these real IDs that
probably.
they had to, they're on a 2-month waiting list.
Probably. I mean, we've had 4 years. So, you waited to the last minute. I'm not saying
Yeah,
you, I'm saying
I did.
people.
I did. I'm
No, I'm one
guilty.
of the people. I mean, I got a passport, so I mean, if
Yeah,
it
and
wasn't,
so you have a passport, so you are okay. So even if you don't get it by the cutoff date, you have the other form of acceptable identification, which is a passport, so you'll be fine until you get your real ID.
I'm
okay,
stuck. I don't have either.
uh,
I don't.
yeah,
I don't have a passport.
No.
Listen, Tanya,
Oh,
I wasn't planning on flying over water. This phobia is real. It hampers me
well,
because I do.
put the
I there
window
are
shade
places
down
I
and
want
you'll
to
never
go.
know. Put the window
Well,
shade down.
there's places I want to go, but mm-mm.
Put the window shade down, and
right.
you will not know that you're
No,
over
no, no.
water.
I love. In fact, when I fly, I prefer the window seat. Okay, but
Okay.
it's something about looking down and seeing nothing but water that terrifies me. I don't know why. I have
Have you been
never
on a
figured.
cruise?
Are you kidding me? Hell to the
No,
no.
no,
You
with me
haven't
and
heard
Sister
Dennis
Sheila.
teasing me on the show about how he gonna knock me out, take me on the cruise
On the crew, we're gonna
next
do
year.
her. Hey, we gonna. You
No
ever seen the
cruise
18?
either.
They gonna
Hey,
they gonna do me
hey,
like Mr. T on the A
Mr. T
team
on the
and knock
18.
me
We're gonna
out
knock
and
out.
drag me to the cruise. No,
Oh
being on a boat
man.
and all of that water. And then listen, I can swim. I know I grew up swimming.
Right, I can't
It's
even
not
swim.
that. It's not that fear of not being able to swim. It's just all that water, and then it's you out this little dot in the middle of all that water. It's just,
All right, we got
Well,
another
you do
question.
know
We
that
got
you're in
another
the middle
question.
of space now, right?
yeah, but I'm on the ground. It's just different.
The only thing keeping you here is gravity. Okay, sorry, go on.
We got another
I
question.
know that. I know. I didn't say
What's
I
the
didn't say it was rational. I just said I just have it. That's all I can tell you.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
what's the unique country you booked a trip to?
You know, I don't think I've booked unique just yet. I will say people think Fiji is run of the mill, but it is a very unique destination because you land, but then there's they have about 300 islands in Fiji. About 130 of them are actually inhabited. There's probably about 10 that are like touristy. So when you land in Fiji, you have to take a helicopter or I think they have a seaplane, or but the most common way is a ferry. So this is not a place that you go to 3 or 4 days. So that's another common misconception is that people like to book overseas travel for 5 days. It's going to take you 2 days to go and come back. You're going to be in a whole different time zone. You have to recover from the travel,
You
which
sure do.
could take you 12 to 24 hours. So you have 2 days to see a country. So I just want to put it out there that people really should be rethinking the way they think international travel. And I know that everybody has, a job and you have leave to conform to and all that, but international travel is not something you do in 5 days. Back to Fiji. Fiji is is interesting and unique because of the way that you land, and you have to take another method of transportation to get to these ferries. I mean, to get to these islands. So, and then once you get to the island, it's a whole different experience. So I think at this point, Fiji is my most unique, but I feel like that's going to change once I start booking African countries, South Africa or Nigeria, Ghana. It's
Mhm.
important to actually I have boots on the ground in these countries, so that's another important part and a benefit of booking with a travel agency because you kind of know what you're getting and you have someone to reference back to. Whereas if you just book these things online by yourself, you never really have any kind of review of what's going on. Any other time my nose is not running. Today, my nose said, "Oh,
It's
you
the
on
it's
camera? We about
depression.
to run something." I don't
It's
know.
depression. It's
My
depression.
God, I don't have a cold.
That's it.
I'm not. It's nothing happening, but my nose decided today is the day, boo. You on TV? We about to show out.
Well,
Oh,
we got another question.
okay.
What's the going rate to travel to Cape?
Cape, what?
Or maybe it's Cope. Was it Cape or was it Cope?
I don't Cope don't mean anything. We have Cape Cod, we have Cape Town.
We got Cape May,
I'm not
Florida.
right. There's a
I
lot
was
of capes. But
I
let me
was
say
thinking Cape
this.
Town.
So travel is not something like you go to the grocery store and it says, "Oh, this is 15.99. I'll take that." Travel is very subjective. It
Mm-hmm.
depends on number one, who's going, when you're going, what time of year you're going, what kind of experience you want. You know, do you want economy? Do you want premium economy? Do you want business? Do you want first class? Travel is not something that's in a box that is priced at 15.99. It just doesn't work like that. And it's seasonal. So I don't know what Cape you were talking about, but it depends on when's the high season, when's the low season, when's hurricane season. You know, it's dependent upon a lot of factors. So it's hard to say this is the price for a trip to anywhere because it's so factor dependent.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what is the traveling rate to Elat in Israel or Elite in Israel?
Right. I'll just refer you back to my last answer because it's so dependent upon you.
Okay.
Oh, I think she's talking about the real ID.
If you talking about the real idea on that one, Sharon still can take
Hmm.
a short flight. The birdcage said, "Scared to travel, shaking my head, man. Chocolate girl, you got to get over it. Get over that fear."
Well, she's not scared to fly. She's just scared to fly over
Listen,
large bodies of water.
that's it. Thank you, Tanya. That's the only thing. Flew
Yeah.
people have.
And
I've
we're
said
going to
this
get you
story.
through that. We're
I've
going to
said
get you
this
through
story
that.
before. I flew to Tampa. I did not realize that the airport was on the coast, and that when you fly into Tampa Airport, they go out over the bay to land. I didn't
Mm.
know. I flipped out, and I didn't realize that was the first time I realized I was like that. I was grown, a whole grown adult.
We're
Don't I
gonna we're
didn't
gonna get
know
you through
that
that
it was.
Roman.
because you can't let that limit you in your
I
life. We're gonna get past it.
I'm trying to get. I decided I was going to get over it. I did promise Dennis and Sheila that I would go on a cruise.
Yeah,
I
so
just don't know when.
the number one thing is to keep your window shade down.
I guess that's what I'm going to have to do.
Yeah,
I
because
love looking at the clouds. I just love it.
yeah,
I
put
love
it
when
on
I'm
your
up there.
phone.
I love when I get up there and I'm
Put it
looking
on your phone.
on the.
Put it on
That's
your phone. Let
I
me
can
also
do
say this. Let me also say this. When you're flying,
that.
at whatever altitude you're at,
Mm-hmm.
if your plane were to fall out of the sky over land or water, you ain't surviving.
I know.
So it doesn't really matter.
I
Like,
know, but for some reason that was the reaction. I didn't
yeah,
know I had been flying my whole life. I was probably 3 or 5 years old the first time I flew.
yeah, we're gonna
And,
just give you some
and
stay
I
calm when
just
we're
didn't
coming
know.
close to, yeah, well,
I
we're
did
gonna get
not. I had no idea I
because
had that
you're
phobia.
gonna come to
So then,
Jamaica with us. Heard me? You coming?
okay, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
And
That's all I'm
Sister
gonna
Sheila,
say.
you coming too, Sister Sheila?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, absolutely.
She's been to Jamaica, but I'm sure she'll go back. And I've always she's been to the Bahamas, and that's been her place. And
Yeah.
I want to go to the
These
Bahamas. I
are
want to go to Cuba.
beautiful,
I want to
beautiful
go to Puerto
countries
Rico.
with
Yeah.
Yeah.
beautiful,
You
beautiful
gotta
black
go over
people.
you gotta go to Bahamas, you gotta go over that sand. I mean the old the Sydney Portier Bridge. Gotta go over there. And you gotta go see the rich side
I want to go to
and the poor
France.
side.
I
I'm
always
going
want
to
to go to.
Dubai.
I want to go to Paris. I don't want to go to Dubai though. I don't know
Oh,
why, but
Dubai.
I have
Dubai
no
is, and
interest
just
in that
wait
place.
till I come back and you'll see
I'm
my
gonna change my
experience
mind.
and you'll be like, when we going to Dubai? So just
Nah,
wait.
Yeah, but
I'm
I
be honest
still
with
want to go
you.
to Paris.
That flight to Dubai got me nervous.
Mhm.
It's a nonstop flight. Like, I don't know. I don't think about that. I think about the destination. I mean, flying, I think is troublesome to everybody. Nobody goes into it with, "Oh, I can't wait to fly." It's just that you know that that's the means to the end to getting to your destination, to your vacation. So you just deal with it. And when I go to Thailand, that's like a 24-hour thing. So,
Hey, Maria, my friend Maria said if you get her to travel, then we can get her in a cruise ship. I said I'm going, Maria. I'm gonna do it.
That I mean,
Yeah,
it's so beautiful. Like you can't not see that. We only get one life. There's so much to do. Don't
that's
don't
what I
let
feel.
phobias limit you. Like work through that however you need to. Maybe you need to get hypnotized. I'm a big fan of hypnosis. I
What?
wish I
No,
could.
no, no. Do not listen to Miss Creole over there. Don't you do that.
I didn't say
Don't do.
root.
Oh, Miss Cleo, don't
No,
do that.
don't
I
you?
didn't say I'm a
No,
big fan of root. I said I'm a big fan of hypnosis. That's
right
different.
here.
I ain't trying to put a spell on nobody.
Uh, don't be hip.
Necessarily. I'm just trying to get get them through their trauma and their phobia. That's all.
Yeah,
Well,
I ain't hypnotized by
I
that.
said I would do it, so I will do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
So
We're gonna
Maria
hold you
going on
to
a
that.
cruise trip. What is this cruise gonna be off the hook? Sound like
Yeah,
for real.
see,
Kim,
Maria
you
goes
hold us
goes
back.
on. Well, Maria goes on cruises all the time, and plus she lives in Florida, so she's on the beach all the time. So
Yeah, she
beach,
lives in Florida, so
that's
she's
her.
right at the ports.
Yeah,
Like she's got it
right.
made. She doesn't have to worry about
Yeah.
a flight or any of that.
Mm-mm.
Well, I mean, well, you
She
technically you right at the port too in Baltimore.
gets up and goes. She wants
True.
to.
That's a long, but see, if you live in Florida, you can do like shorter cruises. If you leave from Baltimore, you have to do the Bermuda cruise, and that's 7 days minimum because you got to get out of here first before you even
But
get to the
I don't
water.
even mess with the Bermuda one. I usually when I left out of Baltimore, I did the one to the
I'm not
Bahamas.
going to Bermuda.
Yeah, I ain't go, I'm
Go
not messing with
there.
Bermuda at
I'm
all.
not going
Why?
to Bermuda.
Because of the triangle? Why?
Don't nobody, ain't nobody care about that pink sand. I'm like, ain't nobody
Yeah,
care.
because of the triangle. Yeah. We Gen X, Tanya. I'm sorry, I can't. We know
Oh, you
about the
still thinking
Bermuda
about the
Triangle.
Bermuda
We're not.
Triangle? God, you know what?
I
Somebody
ain't
just
messing
mentioned
with
that to me
that.
the other day. I had forgot about that thing since 8th grade. Are
No,
you
uh,
serious?
I'm not
So do
messing
you have
with
to
that.
go through the Bermuda Triangle to get? I don't think they go through the Bermuda Triangle to get to
I don't
Bermuda.
care. I don't want to find out. You're getting me
Uh,
over water, Tanya.
Oh
Take
my
me to
God.
Puerto Rico or
I'm
the
gonna have
Bahamas.
to look at
I'm
the
not going
route
to
to Bermuda to
Bermuda.
see
there's a port.
over.
Is
I
there
don't
a
think
port
they
that
go
leaves
through
out of?
that though.
There's a port that leaves out of South Carolina, right?
Probably if there's water.
Yeah,
I mean, there's one
yes,
in
it
Virginia,
is.
so yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple in Virginia.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, because that's where they
But
rerouted
anyway,
when we had that bridge accident. They were rerouting
What up,
our
Josh? What up, Josh? My camera
boats to.
ain't working right, but I'm in
so
the
Hey,
building.
Josh.
I have another question for you. I know, of course, airline travel that's big, but do you book? Have you booked packages which include other methods of travel, like buses or trains or anything else?
Yeah. So Amtrak Vacations is a huge deal for people who don't necessarily like to travel, or I mean not fly, or they want to see the country. And what
Mhm.
better way? We have people go to foreign countries, but we have a lot of things to see right here in the United States. And there's no better way to do it than an Amtrak vacation because you stop at certain places and you'll have a hotel maybe for 2 days. Like they have a lot of different packages, but Amtrak vacations is a huge thing as well. National park vacations are big within the United States. So there's a lot to do just here domestically.
Yes.
Yeah. And I
Yes.
plan
And
to do a
I've
year
always said
of,
that
yeah,
that's the case. And I want to do the Napa Valley tour or
yeah.
something.
Well,
I want to
I'm
go
I'm
tour
from
the
there, so
wineries.
we could definitely. Matter of fact, I think I might be booking that. I'll keep you. I Somebody
Mhm.
asked me about a girls Napa Valley trip. Um,
Yes.
Why I got to
yeah.
be
Yeah.
girls?
So
Why I got
that's
to be
up to
girls
you.
all the time?
Well, it
Well,
doesn't have to be, but
it doesn't
that's
have
what I
to.
saw. I actually saw, I've seen a couple online with people posting their videos
I
from
don't
their
like the fact
girl
that y'all just, it's just
valley
always the girls trip.
Well,
trip.
let me say this because
They're
men
women. We don't say
aren't
that.
necessarily big wine drinkers.
Hmm.
So that's where that
I'm
comes
just
in,
talking
I
about
think.
the just the girls trip period.
Oh, well, because so let's talk about that. Women tend to travel more than men.
They do,
And
So
and you
well
know
that's
what?
together.
in
And y'all
groups,
are much more well
Hmm.
organized.
right?
Hmm.
So
Um,
I will say any men that want to do group travel, definitely reach out to me. I don't think that men should limit themselves either. It's solo travel or group travel. I don't see anything wrong with a group of guys doing travel. In fact, I saw a couple of groups when I was on Spirit. I used to wonder, I was like, where are the men that travel? Well, they're flying Spirit. Because there was a gang, a group of like 3 or 4 groups of just men, and they were heterosexual traveling when when I went on when I traveled on Spirit.
There was
Because
a couple of men that
the gangs
traveled
were
when
gonna
we went
do
to Dominican
whatever.
Republic.
Yeah. Yeah. There were.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. You're right. There were. Yep.
Yeah.
Usually when I see men traveling, it's a bachelor party type of thing, or it's for business.
Right.
It's rare that I've seen like groups of guys just traveling for fun, just for the hell of it.
Or
But
on
I
some of
see
that
women,
passport bros BS.
right? But I see women all the time. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to do
Yeah.
the Napa. But what about the
I'm
bourbon
listening,
tour in
Josh.
Kentucky?
I'm down with the Amtrak, Josh.
Oh.
Have you
Now
booked anyone for the
I
bourbon
haven't,
tour?
but I tell you what, there would be a lot of men on that. Let's do Amtrak. Yeah. Amtrak, you got to devote some time to that.
Yeah, I
Yes.
know that.
Yeah.
Honestly, a couple years ago, they had an Amtrak trip that they was doing during the summertime, where
Hmm.
you would left from Philadelphia and you rode all the way to California.
Right.
And I think it was like a 3 week trip or something like that.
Right. Like you got to
And
devote some
it was
time to
like
that.
$260 round trip.
Well, I will say that there is one all the time up and down the East Coast that goes
Hmm.
through Charlotte and
Hmm.
goes through, it actually comes through Durham. It's the same Amtrak. It goes through Durham, it goes through Charlotte, it goes up to DC. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how far north it goes. And then it goes down to, I believe, Georgia. I'm not sure about Florida, but it's just a straight shot up and down. And people ride that out a lot,
The
a lot.
US is an untapped market for travel. People don't realize even what we have here at home. So many people have never been to maybe just only 1 or 2 states. Their family reunion
I've
state.
never been to Miami. I've always wanted to go to Miami. Never been.
Miami is
That
Miami is
place. That's what everybody
super
tells me.
fun.
It
It's
tells
just
me.
the weather, the people, the culture. It's beautiful.
Like
I
I
love
told you,
Miami.
Sharon, when I'm in Miami, I don't stay in Miami.
Right. It's
I
too
stay in
expensive.
Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed right on Miami Beach last time I went,
Mm.
but because I wanted that experience. But there's a lot of different experiences, and so that's the thing. It all depends on what you want to experience. But I love Miami, another place.
Yeah. I was looking at this house. They had a house on the water. It was like a floating house. It sleeps 10 people. And I was telling Sheila for my 60th in a couple of years, that's what I think I might want to do.
We have
Finally.
those in Baltimore, just FYI.
But
We have those
I've been to
float.
Baltimore. I ain't been to
I know,
Miami.
I know, but you ain't slept on the water at the pier in Baltimore. But anyway, yeah, I
Yeah, they have
definitely need to learn how to
they
float.
have them in Charlotte too. They do
Yeah,
have some in
that's
Charlotte
the thing.
by the river or something. I don't know,
Mhm.
but yeah, I was thinking about that, and the house is just absolutely beautiful. Like straight out of a scene like
Nice.
CSI Miami type of home. Kinds of
Right,
homes you used to see on that show. Just
right.
the big windows and wall of windows and high
Miami
ceilings and
is it
all
makes
that stuff
you be
blowing.
mad that you don't have the money to be there, and it's just, yeah,
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful.
It
that's
is
a
very expensive.
destination.
New
Very
Orleans is my
expensive.
other favorite US city.
Oh my goodness! You speaking
Never
my
been.
language.
Been.
What?
I've been to some
Ma'am.
now. I know it sounds like I haven't been anywhere. No, I've been places. I just haven't been these places. That's all.
Okay. Oh, you
I've
been to
been to
Nashville?
California. Now I've been to California.
Okay. To
Well,
where
wait
in
a minute.
California?
Now that I'm sitting here talking to you, Tony, I can ask you the question I used to ask people a long time ago. Now, um, what experience was better for you, right? Because you've been to Memphis too, right?
I have not been to Memphis.
Oh, never mind.
I have not been to Memphis.
Yeah, he's been to Memphis.
I have not. That's on my list, but I haven't been there.
Yeah,
Well,
because I
yeah,
always
but
ask people what's better, Bill Street or Bourbon Street. That's what I used to always ask people.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know Bourbon Street is popping.
Yeah.
I've been to Essence. I've just been to New Orleans. New Orleans
Well,
is
I want to go to
Bay.
Essence.
New
I want to
Orleans
go to
is
do the
Bay.
Essence at least once. But
Yeah. It's not, it's
California,
expensive now. I went back in the day when it was a little more affordable, but now it's like
mm,
I'll say
it's
the
crazy.
shows are expensive.
Yeah.
And we used to buy all 3 nights. I don't even know if I could do that now. One night is like, okay, are we gonna
Wow.
meet them? Because these prices are crazy. Do we get to talk to the
Wow.
artists, like touch them? Because good Lord. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But in
But it's an
Cali,
experience and it's
you
worth it.
you asked me where did I go in California. I flew into LAX and I was in LA, Pasadena, Hollywood, that
Okay.
section. That's the
Southern.
only that's the only part of California I've ever been in.
So you need to
I
experience
always
Northern
want to go back.
California.
I always want to go back. I loved it. I thought it
We'll
was the
do
most
we'll but
beautiful thing
Napa's
I
in
ever
Northern
seen.
California.
Right.
So we'll have
Right.
to do a Northern California
Hmm.
experience for you from a
I would
native's perspective.
I would love
There
it.
we go.
It's the best way to do it with a native.
Yes,
That's what I
yes.
say.
There we
True,
go.
Yeah, I
true.
want to go to the Bay, Josh. I still want to. I've always wanted to see the bridge and all that.
You
I've
should go.
wanted to
Hey, you
go.
know what? What you doing for your
Yeah,
birthday this week?
I'm supposed to be coming to Philadelphia,
When
We
is your
might.
birthday?
June 23rd.
Okay. I'll be in Cancun.
You gonna be somewhere? I know you weren't gonna be here.
I'll be in Cancun. Well,
Oh,
not in
okay.
Cancun, but I'll be in like the Tulum area, but I'll be in Mexico.
Hmm.
Yeah, we should go to we should go to the Bay for your birthday.
Have you been to Can? No, you haven't been to Cancun, obviously, because you ain't flew over no water.
No.
I haven't been to Cancun either.
Oh, okay, Lord. We've got
Yeah,
so
I'm
much to
not
do
too hyped on Cancun, but we can go
because
because it's Mexico. I'm just. I
mhm.
Now,
don't know. I'm just
now they just gotta. Now you've been to Cancun and you've been to Tulum, right?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, well, how is Tulum? Like, I keep seeing all these cheap trips to Tulum, and I'm wondering why is everything so cheap? What's going on with you?
Probably because Tulum is like, well, what they advertise Tulum as is this kind of, place where it's kind of earthy and you got to be careful where you're staying. And I've looked at some, and I love Mexico. I love Tulum, but some of those places that they advertise to me are a little musty looking. I can't say it any other way. I have certain qualifications for places that I stay. Number one, I need air conditioning, central. And if
Mhm.
I don't see no air condition, I won't be staying there. It can get hot in Mexico, and I just don't want to be anywhere without air condition. So some of those places, the tree house, hotels, I don't know. It's a little too camping
Mm, mhm.
for me. And that's now
And
some
that
people love that. And if that's what you want, I'll book it. But for me, no. I'm a lightweight luxury person. I need some AC. I need housekeeping. I don't want to see no bugs, any of that.
that's
And I
that's
know I'm
me.
in a tropical place. I realize that. You still can exterminate before I get there and make sure that it's clean because I don't want to
That's
see
right.
any of that. I want to make sure I keep my toilet seat closed, and when I open it, I don't want to really see nothing in my toilet. I want to make sure because that's another third world country thing. Things come through the sewer
Mhm.
line. So you have to be aware. I want to make sure that I can brush my teeth with the running water and not bottled water. Like there
Right.
I have some qualifications because I don't have time for GI issues on
Mhm.
vacation. I usually that usually happens to me, but usually at the end once I get home. But
Mhm.
let's minimize the opportunity for that, please. But Tulum versus Cancun,
Yes.
different experiences. Both are good depending on what you want. Cancun is more tourist, um, commercial. Tulum is a little more laid back, less commercial, bohemian kind of, but equally good experience. Either one would give you a good Mexican experience.
Yeah, because I heard Tulum just got their brand new airport.
Yeah, Yeah, I've heard
So,
that airport is really nice. I had some clients just fly in there. They said it was beautiful airport. So, it just depends on your experience that you're looking for. I wouldn't discount either one. I would be careful. I would be careful just in general with any super discounted rates. Super discounted
okay,
rates equals super discounted accommodations
I
or
agree.
super discounted flight where you may have a 24-hour layover somewhere. Like you really need to pay attention to that. And oftentimes when you see these super discounted like that, you'll have a long layover somewhere,
Okay, all right.
12
This
hours.
gonna be my last question, and I'm gonna hand it over to Sharon right here. Now, I've been following you on TikTok, and you have gave I would say a part 43 of this long, extensive, uh,
Costa Rica.
terrible experience that you had. Would you like to share that with us in a good brief moment of what happened and where you went?
So we were in Costa Rica, and this actually wasn't anything to do with the country. It was just the accommodation that we booked. So a travel partner of mine, we were going to explore a potential um, vacation home. I guess that's what you want to call it. It's a vacation home in Costa Rica. Some Americans had bought a property, rehabbed it. It was a totally new modern experience in the hills, the countryside, outside of about an hour and a half outside of San Jose, Costa Rica. So we, paired up with the owners and booked a trip there. And we had some bad luck on the first day. My travel partner missed her flight. So I flew alone. They came and got me. I was at the hotel waiting for her. It was pouring down rain. Like it just everything that bad that could happen happened. The
Mm-hmm.
owner, who seemed like a really nice, bubbly person, turned into a inebriated Karen when she discovered that my travel partner had missed her flight and her person would have to go back to the airport to pick her up. She was very dismayed about I have a food allergy, I have a gluten allergy, which is unimpactful because all you have to really do is eliminate bread or pasta from a meal and then I'm good. Like it's unimpactful for me. I don't even really think about it too much anymore because I know what to do and what to eliminate. And I told her and I thought everything was all good. So she brought me a meal that had soy sauce. Well, soy sauce has gluten in it. And she told me her husband was a chef. I think any good chef would look at an ingredient list before they provide their person that they know has a food allergy with something of the allergen that they're allergic to. So she got kind of pissed off about that. She was pissed off about my travel partner coming in late. Um, we didn't realize we were also sharing a room. So we had booked a pretty penny for this place, an amount that would be indicative of two separate rooms.
Mm-hmm.
My travel partner gets there and we are supposed to be in the same room. Like she's looking for a room and the driver was like, you guys are both in the same room. So he calls her down. She's full on inebriated with whatever. I don't know if it was a alcohol, prescription drugs. I don't know what the deal was, but she was a whole different person when she came down the side of the mountain because that's where the vacation house was, about a quarter mile down a mountain of sidewalk they had carved out of the mountain and metal
Mm-hmm.
stairs. So picture that in torrential rainforest rain. You're
Mm-hmm.
dragging yourself, your luggage, your bag from the duty free down the side of this mountain and these stairs, and you're trying not to slip because you're an Aries and you're prone to very uh, random accidents. So you just could picture yourself sliding down them stairs with your luggage behind you, your feet up in the air, and your duty free bag with your alcohol bursting. And now you've cut an artery. So I'm thinking about all of this. And that was
Mm-hmm.
my evening. So then when she brings me this food that I can't eat, I'm trying to be nice because, I'm in Costa Rica. I don't speak fluent Spanish and I ain't got no money for a Costa Rican lawyer. So I need to be really, business and above board and don't bring out any Oakland or any borrowed Baltimore. Just keep it all
You can
together
borrow Baltimore.
because these are two cities that are known for popping off. Okay.
Yes.
I don't want to do that in a foreign country. So, and my travel partner is from Baltimore. So we could have
Oh
set
wow.
off at any minute.
Any
Okay.
minute.
At
Oh my
any minute.
goodness.
She's talking to us real crazy. Right. And so we're trying to just keep it all together. So she goes off. I said, hey, we're going to sleep in this bed. We get in that room. And I said, we out of here tomorrow. I'm not staying with this crazy lady. She ain't going to poison me. We out of like they're fixing the food. I'm not comfortable. So
Hmm.
in the morning, we were on the first thing smoking up out of there, but we did spend the remainder 3 days. We were there for 3 more days. We stayed in a nice Marriott hotel with air conditioning and a TV because we had neither one for our pretty penny, right? We didn't even have any cell service. It was
Wow.
so I say all that to say, travel agents, do your due diligence. People, do your due diligence. If it could happen to me, it definitely could happen to you. Like, just don't get caught up in those situations. Luckily, we, had our plan B kicked in and we were able to activate that. But it's a lesson to people. Don't travel with just enough money for your accommodations. Always travel with plan B money because you never know how things are going to pop off. Everything looks one way on the internet, and when you get to it, it may not be what you thought it was. So you always need to be able to have your plan B. So we kicked that into gear, went to our nice Marriott, and had a grand old time after that. We were in the city. San Jose is a city. So
Hmm.
it kind of was like being in Baltimore or DC. It wasn't necessarily a resort. So when I say I want to go back to Costa Rica, I want to go back and have a resort experience. So we'll be like on the coast in the southern, there's an area called Limon, which is a Caribbean population, i.e. Black folks
Hmm.
in Costa Rica. So that's my next Costa Rican experience that I want to have. But San Jose was a great city. Um, People were very enamored by the two Black American girls. So, there was that. At the time, I had dreadlocks. So people were just like, oh my God, I had, people wanting to touch my hair. And
Oh my.
so it's, yeah. I mean, they don't see us. And if they
Mhm.
do, they see an internet version of us. We did get followed around in a Nike store at the mall, which was so very strange. We're looking at items and comparing them to prices back in the United States, and we noticed we had an audience of workers, and we're like, do they think we about to do a smash and grab? Like, no,
Right.
ma'am. First of
Right.
all, we can't run like that. Number one. Number two, we ain't trying to get locked up in Costa Rica.
And
Like, be
comes
for
in
real.
some foreign place. No.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. So it was an interesting yet fun experience. I will go back to Costa Rica despite all of that mess. But yeah, it was crazy. It was
That's a very important tip. The thought of having plan B money. I never thought about that. And you're absolutely right. Because if you think about it,
yeah.
nobody they're not going to give you your money back. You
And
know
if
what I
they do,
mean?
it's not gonna be
Necessarily.
immediate because you
And
didn't
it's
pay the
that's
entire.
right.
We
It's
ended up
not
we got
immediate.
our money back, but it
Mhm.
wasn't immediate because it had to
Not
go through
immediate.
the bank cycle. So what do
Exactly.
you do while you're waiting for that? So
But
you
then
always
there,
have
but
some
then
plan.
there are some who will refuse to give the money
Yeah,
back. So
yeah.
you do have to plan for that. That's very. It's almost like when you're building a house or doing renovations, and you have to have a contingency fund in case something else crops up. So that's a good tip.
And if COVID taught us anything, it should.
Mhm.
And I try to tell my clients, make sure that you have a little reserve off to the side because you don't know what's going to happen. Another reason why I implore that my clients get travel insurance, because
That was going to be my next question. Actually, go ahead and talk
to help
about that. The
you. That
importance
can
of
help
that.
you as well. Yeah, the importance of
Mhm.
that. Just even with simple things like what happened with Dennis's luggage, just to get some compensation. Like you're not going to, obviously, if something is lost permanently, you're not going to get it back. but
Mhm.
compensate me for my loss. Give me something so that's immediate. So usually travel insurance, trip protection insurance, whatever you want to call it, has an immediate compensation effect where you can go and buy some clothes because you have nothing if your luggage is lost. So you want to be able
Mhm.
to, just go somewhere and get some something to wear, get some clothes, get a toothbrush, get, some personal items. Um, but if your trip is canceled, the travel insurance that I sell covers trip cancellation, for certain reasons. Typically, it's on the side of the supplier or the airline or whatever. But
Mhm.
if you get sick or if there's some kind of other thing, it covers trip cancellation, delay. Sometimes you'll get delayed, and your delay may be 3 hours or it may be a day. So you'll get compensation for that. So these are the things that you want to be covered with some sort of trip protection insurance. Um, and you may, depending on your coverage, you may be able to get a refund, you may be able to get a credit. It just depends on the level of coverage that you provide. But I would say, especially if you're going to travel internationally, definitely have travel insurance. I
Okay.
always book that. I just book it into my client's package because better safe
Mhm.
than sorry, because I can't help you recover
Mhm.
your lost funds if they're non-refundable. Like there's only
Right.
so much I can do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
If you miss your connection, these are the things, miss your connection or miss your transfer because your flight was delayed. Like there's a ripple effect. One
Mhm.
delay can cause a whole bunch of other delays and can cause you to lose money. So these are things that you can put a claim in and get your money back for. You may have to take a taxi for now if you had booked private transportation. But guess what? You get money back for your taxi or money back for your travel that was canceled. So you just want to have trip protection when you try domestically.
Mhm.
Nah, it's a toss up domestically, but internationally, definitely. Too much can happen.
And the travel insurance, is that different than the accident insurance that you can
Yes,
get when you're flying?
yes.
Explain what the accident insurance is.
So accident insurance is if you have an accident while you're traveling. So say you go to
Mhm.
Jamaica and you want to do a jet ski and you have an accident and you require medical attention.
Mhm.
Also, something big on cruises. If people get sick on cruises. So if you have to go to the doctor, sometimes just going to see the ship doctor is $2,000.
Whoa.
Right. So you'd like to have also some sort of medical coverage. If you don't have it in your trip insurance, you might have it covered in your accident insurance. You want to look at what things cover. Um,
Mhm.
if you have any kind of accident, they're not going to take your American insurance. It's inactive
I
in another
I did
country.
I did not know none of that. That
That's
is
Yeah.
why I
new,
wanted to make sure I asked the question, because I was reading
especially
about some
especially
things.
on a cruise ship.
There are things that we tend not to think about when we're traveling, and that's the importance of talking to a travel agent,
And these are the
because
things
you're
that
not
are
aware.
different for over 40 people because we are more
Mhm.
prone to different things. We're more,
Mhm.
my aunt went on a cruise and ended up getting pneumonia.
Wow.
And if she didn't have travel insurance, trip protection for that cruise, her doctor bill was $65,000.
Ooh.
Right.
Wow.
And the travel insurance was $340.
Mhm.
So
So
yeah,
it
at the end
definitely
of the
was
day, I don't want
worth
to
it.
spend money on that. Yeah.
It was worth it.
It's
It
like any
definitely was worth
insurance.
it.
You may not
Mhm.
ever use it, but it's better to
Right.
have it. You don't drive your car with no insurance
Some
per
people do.
se. I mean, some people do, but when yeah, and you see the car sitting on the side of the road because
Right.
you're just asked out at that point.
Right.
Yeah, you have no
Okay.
recourse. You'll be walking off the freeway. Don't put yourself in a walking off the freeway situation when you're traveling.
Right.
Yeah,
So
so it's
if
important.
I have another question. If
Mhm.
you were explaining the process of getting a passport to somebody who didn't even know what a passport is, can you quickly explain what that is, what that process is?
So the first thing that you do is you go onto the State Department website, the passport website, and you print out the
Mhm.
application.
Mhm.
You complete the application. You take it to the post office. You have to go and get a picture taken somewhere. So you'd like go to Staples and get your picture taken. Then you take your application, your birth certificate, your picture packet. I think that's all you need. You take all that, you make an appointment online at the post office. On your
Mm-hmm.
appointment day, you show up with your package, your completed, as you follow the directions on the application, your completed application, your birth certificate, and your picture. They're going
Mm-hmm.
to take all of that, including your birth certificate, which will get mailed back to you. And they review it, I think, for something. And they approve it right there for that it's a complete package, and they send it off to the State Department or who the passport, I think it's, or Homeland Security, TSA does passports. They mail it off to the passport office and they do the background check.
Mm-hmm.
If you're all good, you get your passport back. And then, like a couple days later, I don't know if your birth certificate comes back at the same time, but they mail your birth certificate back too.
And does it have to be your original copy of the birth certificate, or can it be a photocopy?
Original.
Get out of here.
Oh yeah, that a
And,
photocopy.
and somebody
You could be
told me
anybody.
Wow.
those.
Well, I'm
Somebody
just
told me
saying, I
those.
mean, what if they lose your birth certificate?
Well, they're not gonna.
I'm just
I've
speaking as
never heard of
other
anybody losing it. I mean, this is an official government office. Again, see, let me tell my federal workplace workers. These are official workers who have been trained, who have been cleared
Mm.
to do their job. So they
right.
deal with documents of this sort. That's their job. That's what they deal with. They're not just any old body. Federal workers are not just any old people.
No, they're not.
Right.
And
They have special
yeah,
training to deal
I
with
knew
their
that was the answer. I knew that was the answer before I asked it. I just was asking so that the people
can
you know,
understand why
for the
federal workers
people.
are so important.
Exactly.
Right.
My father worked for the federal government for 30 years. My
Yeah.
sister worked for them for 8. So federal
Highly trained
workers are
individuals.
very highly trained, and they have a high standard of integrity. So
Specialized
I
experience
just
for just that. They're not going to lose
exactly.
your document. I've never heard of that happening.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and
Right.
then
About
they
how
run a
long?
background check and, do all the stuff.
I've heard that you quickly get your passport back. It's not a very long wait
Right.
for it.
Not now.
Well,
I mean, I think people
I
are,
expedited
it
mine.
might be longer now because people are trying to get their passport because we're in such a situation with
Right.
the orange man and muskrat face. We're just in such a weird situation right now that people are rushing to get their passports because people don't want to get deported. They don't know, their citizenship status. So it's a lot of madness going around. So I think if you want to get a passport for travel sometime in the future, now would be the time to
Why
start the
didn't I?
process.
Why didn't I get it last year when I said I was? I was supposed to get it last year. I was going to get it in
Yeah.
June and didn't do it. But okay.
Yeah, I got mine.
All right. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I know you know about the TSA, pre-TSA or something booking.
TSA pre-check.
Yeah.
I
Can you
also another
explain
thing
what
I
that is?
advise. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
another thing I advise everyone to get TSA pre-check and global entry. Global entry includes TSA pre-check, but TSA pre-check essentially is where you're in the airport, you have the regular line that you go through where you have to almost strip naked to go through everything. You got to take off your earrings, your this and this shirt and your belt and your shoes.
Mm.
TSA pre-check, you don't have to do all that because you've been pre-checked, pre-certified that you're not a terrorist or a criminal or anything like that. So you are already certified to go through a different line where you don't have to disrobe to the level that you do in the regular screening line, the regular TSA line. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to take your electronics out of your backpack. You don't have to take your jacket off. If you have a coat, you have to take that off. But if you have a light jacket or a hoodie, you don't have to take that off. You don't have to take your shoes off. So it's a lot simpler process, a lot quicker process. And you just run through and, more people are getting hip to it. So the line is getting a little bit longer, but because they're not the level of screening that you get on the other side of TSA, things still are moving quickly. Now, global entry, which includes TSA, is for when you travel internationally When you come back into the United States, you have to go through immigration.
Hmm.
So rather than standing in the long peasant line of immigration, you get to walk up to a machine that you look into, it scans your eyes, you out.
Wow. Wow, that's
Hey,
amazing.
Chocolate girl, she ain't joking. Chocolate girl.
Oh no,
She
I
was.
know. My sister
She
has it.
was.
She
She was.
Sheila has global entry. So I
She
I
was.
I know all about it. I just wanted, the people to know.
Yeah.
She
And
So
and she was so good. Let me explain it. She
it's
was so
worth
good
the
with it
money.
that she had us over there in their global entry, and then everybody who was on the plane with us was like, "Hey, how y'all get through so fast? What y'all do? What y'all like?" They
right,
just
so
kept
there's
asking.
another like in between thing. I guess
Mhm.
people don't know about it. Like
They
I
don't.
I don't know. There's an app called Mobile Passport Control, MPC.
Mhm.
Download that app, put in your information. There's a line for that, which also was almost as short as the global entry line.
Mhm. Yeah,
You
people don't
show
know
them your
about it.
mobile transport passport control. What do? You show your number or something? I haven't done that in so many years. I don't mean to sound like I haven't done
I
that in so
forgot.
many
I
years,
forgot.
but
I think you show that. You show the app
oh my God.
and you show your passport, and I think you go right through.
Yeah, yeah. So in the interim, there's always mobile passport control. Now, I am aware that some people cannot get approved for a global entry based on historical craziness that they have on their record. Doesn't make them necessarily a today criminal, but maybe they had some issues unresolved back in the day and they just can't get global entry or TSA. Mobile passport control is definitely a way to still travel internationally and not be in the long line of peasantry coming back into the United States. So Dennis can
Okay.
attest to that's what he used coming
Yes, I
back.
did.
Mhm.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, it's good to have. Like I said, last June was my opportunity, and I didn't do it, but I will be doing it this year.
Yeah, yeah,
I guess I'm just gonna have to be one of those people panicking and rushing and get it because I'm going to get it because
yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
right. We
Just
don't know
do
what's
it
about
before
to
you
happen
need
here.
it. Yeah,
Well,
right.
we don't know what's going to happen. We just don't know. We really don't know, and there are people that's walking around in denial like nothing is going on, and it is. So I
How
don't
much?
know.
How much
That's a
was?
whole nother
How,
story.
Sister Sheila said she loves global entry. Is worth the
Yeah,
money.
It's worth the money.
it's
Yeah.
for 5 years. TSA
Uh,
pre-check and global entry are for 5 years.
and how much?
So
Yeah.
once you
What's the
pay it
ballpark figure on that?
on global entry,
Yeah.
it was like $100.
100. It's less
I
than
mean,
200. It's
it's
less than
less than
$200.
$150.
Yeah, it's less than 200.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I got
and
my.
it's for 5 years, so it's definitely. And
Mm-hmm.
so let me also say this: if you have a business, these are business write-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
that is probably a whole other podcast show, but that's why you have your business things in line. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
Maryland LLC because I have certifiable, verifiable write-offs,
Mm-hmm.
and that is one. Travel is my business.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Well, I mean, this has been great. That's my last question. Um, really, that I really I wanted to make sure I got that in there about those
Yeah,
items because I
that's
know
very
several
important.
people had never heard of it when I mentioned it to them, and
If
I'm
you're
like,
going to be
what is that?
a skilled traveler, and
Mhm.
I think when you start doing multiple trips a year, you want it to be easy
Yeah,
Yes.
on you. You want the
Yes, you
process
do.
to be nice and seamless. You don't want to have to go through all that. 200, was it $250?
that's what Sheila said. Is two
Okay,
fifty.
well, it's 250. I'm sorry. See,
Yeah.
I don't even my price is a little skewed
Yeah.
based on
The,
the things that I see. Like $250 may seem like a lot of people, but once you book $35,000 trips, it's like, it's
Two
$250. Like,
$50. Yeah, but it's worth it, especially
it
if you're a
definitely
person
is.
who travels more than once a year or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
It's really
yeah,
worth it.
for sure, for
Oh,
sure. And once you get it, you'll want to travel more than once a year. So that's important too. So maybe you were limiting yourself because it was such a headache the last time you traveled, but now that you have global entry, it's like, okay, well, it wasn't so bad coming back in. So we could take a couple
let
trips
me
a
tell
year
you
now.
something. Let me tell you something, Miss Tanya. I got spoiled last year
Okay.
to the point that I don't even want to travel anymore unless I have global entry and a first class plane ticket.
Now,
Period.
you
I
done
just,
entered into a
I'm
different
just, I'm
realm.
just.
First class is not
If I
cheap.
can't afford it, I'm not going. That's it. I'm just
First
not
class,
going.
I'll say first class, yes, absolutely, depending on where you're going. Premium economy is a very good second
It
runner
is.
up.
It is.
Because first class is expensive, especially if you're talking about family travel. Like
Mm-hmm.
premium economy is definitely the bomb. Now, certain airlines, their economy is good. So it depends on the airline. I'll say that. But
Well,
first class is always good. I mean, fly
listen,
first class on Qatar, you got a bedroom.
listen. I just want some liquor. I want some liquor while I'm in the air. That's all I want. Just give me some bourbon. I'm
Chocolate,
fine.
you can bring shots on the
I'm not doing all that. I'm
Well,
not
you're not supposed to
bringing
consume
anything.
other alcohol. You can do a lot of things, but as a travel agent, my official perspective and point is that you are not supposed to consume liquor that you bought on the plane. You
Right.
can only
I'm not
consume
doing
what
that's.
they're
I'm not.
selling.
That's why I don't fool. I'm not fooling with bringing it on the plane.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, my first class experience, and I was sitting there, and she brought
What
me some
airline was it?
bourbon. It was Delta, and she brought me some bourbon and said I could have as much as I want.
You was like, hold
Girl,
up. Say what?
I was toe up after a couple drinks. Well, I wasn't that torn up, but you know what I'm saying. I felt
Well,
pretty
right.
good when I was
Right. Don't
leaving.
and don't get drunk on the airplane either.
I didn't
'Cause,
get
whew,
drunk, but it got me
yeah.
right though. It
Oh
got me
yeah.
right. It kept
Oh,
me
so
calm.
that's the
So
key. So we got to keep that in mind.
no,
We got to
no, I'm
keep
not
Yes,
that
it
in
is.
mind
saying
too.
Yes, it
that.
is. Yes, it is. Tanya, that
I'm
was
not
good, Tanya.
saying that.
And
Good,
Like
you
I
good
you
said,
job.
can get unlimited free
listen,
drinks on
listen.
American Main
Like
Plus. Just
like I
FYI.
said, I have no problem flying over land. I wasn't nervous at
Okay.
all. It was just I love bourbon. That's it. And I love service. I love being waited on. I love being treated
Yeah,
special.
that does change
I
everything.
mean,
It changes everything.
once you experience it, it's like trying to put
I agree.
toothpaste back in the toothpaste container
I
into
agree.
the tube. I don't want to go back.
I agree.
That's what it
I agree.
is.
That's how
Which is
I ain't gonna
why
So
lie.
$250 is just a little bit of money now. I agree. Your
mhm,
That's
perspective is
that,
different now.
that's how I
yeah,
feel when I went to Dominican Republic. I said,
Oh,
don't nobody cook me 3 meals in a day. They love me out
yeah.
here.
Once you stay in
yeah.
a villa and you have a chef and housekeepers, Dennis was getting his laundry done. We was like,
Ain't nobody tell you to say all that. Wait a minute. Cut the show off.
you were getting your. I was like, why is she bringing you a stack of clothes? Oh, that's your clothes. Oh, okay,
Mhm.
I see. Yeah, we got treated like royalty in the Dominican Republic. We had 3 meals a day. We just laid around, did what we wanted. So you got to come when we do our villas.
That
Okay.
sounds fun. That sounds nice.
Now I'm thinking about doing St. Lucia because I found this beautiful, beautiful villa in St. Lucia for
Hmm.
our next trip. I love the DR and I love the staff that we have in the DR, but I really want to give St. Lucia a try because this
Hmm.
house is phenomenal and it
Well, you
also has
gotta, well,
staff.
well, you gotta book it. You gotta book it. Like a good 4 months away from Jamaica.
I always, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
Lord. See, that's why I'm like, too many trips. It's so
Hmm.
much. So I got to sit down and get my mind together exactly what we're going to do, when we're going to do it. But yeah, because it's
Yeah.
Caribbean, Caribbean. I get it. I get it. If we're going to do Jamaica,
Well,
oh,
no, it ain't.
Lord.
It ain't that. My pockets ain't that long. Like me. I'm
Well,
at
I
work right
always
now.
try to book a year in advance to give people time to get it paying payments because I know everybody can't just
And
drop it
you know
like that.
what? That's something else. I didn't even think you could book travel out that far. My sister
Yeah,
was like, "Yes, you
yeah,
can." And I'm
yeah.
like, "Really?" I don't know.
Because you don't
I just
necessarily
had
have
no
to book the
concept.
flights.
No
You can
concept.
definitely book your lodging that far in advance.
Exactly.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Flights,
Hmm.
maybe not. But you can add them on when the schedule becomes available. But you start with that lodging because that can also change prices too the closer you get. So, but the minute
Hmm.
your schedule becomes available is when you want to book your flights for sure.
Good,
Yeah,
good information.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
any final thoughts on what you want to leave with the people about travel? Any final tips or anything?
I could say that people should definitely travel more than they do. Don't
Mhm.
let your phobias get in the
Mhm.
way. Don't let price get in the way, especially when you can do it on a payment plan. And don't let lack of knowledge get in the way, because that's why you have your travel agent that can assist you with your questions, that can
Mhm.
help quell any kind of misconceptions that you have. But definitely, my bottom line, travel more. We only live one life.
And how can they reach you, Miss Travel
I
Bliss?
can be reached at Tanya. My name is Tanya at trytravelbliss.com. You can email me. I am very responsive, or you can look for me on Facebook under my name or under Travel Bliss.
Travel
And we
Bliss.
will
Now,
be,
do you have
and
a
we will.
Instagram page as
I
well?
have an Instagram page, which is called underscore try travel bliss
Mhm.
underscore on
She also
Instagram.
she also has a TikTok.
I have TikTok. I have all the socials. I have to
Mhm.
build a LinkedIn page because apparently that's the new social. So I'll be on LinkedIn as well too. But Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for sure.
Good job. All right.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. This has
Oh no,
been very enjoyable.
we're
Thank
gonna
you
have
for
you come back on.
coming. We're going to have you back, but thank you for coming. This has been very
Absolutely.
informative. Very, very
Absolutely.
informative.
We can do some destination talks. Like I'm open to whatever. We can talk about some popular destinations. We can talk about being a travel agent. Ooh, I got some stories.
Right.
So
We talk
yeah,
about we talk
Okay.
about Vegas because
lots to still talk
I
about for
never
sure.
I
We'll
never
do
been to
that.
Vegas.
We'll
Well,
do
you said
that.
you never been to Vegas?
I never been to Vegas.
Y'all
I
killing
haven't
me.
I haven't either. I haven't been to Vegas.
Oh, y'all killing me.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
We
hey,
talk about
hey.
So
Vegas.
we need to do like a US tour at some point because there's so many cities to see that you haven't seen. Vegas, New
I
Orleans,
haven't seen Vegas.
Miami.
No. I seen New Orleans. I seen New Orleans twice, but I ain't got no
He's
problem.
been to Miami. He's
I ain't
been to
got
Sharon,
no
have you
Miami.
problem.
been to New Orleans?
Listen, I ain't got no problem
No.
going back to New
Mm-mm.
Orleans. I ain't got no problem going back to Miami.
No, I want to go to New Orleans. I've never been to New Orleans.
And you
Yes.
and you had an Airbnb situation over there in Atlanta,
Who?
or then maybe that was somebody you knew.
Not me.
No, I'm talking about Tanya. Tanya, this is
Mm-mm.
travel agent.
I have a friend with an Airbnb in Atlanta. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely have a friend who has a Airbnb property
I have
in
a
Atlanta.
relative that has a Airbnb in DC. So
Oh, really?
if you need somebody that's looking for that, just hit me up. I'll
Okay.
connect you with him. He has an
Okay.
Airbnb,
Yeah, but
and
no,
it's
I didn't.
nice too.
I need to
Hmm.
go back to Atlanta. I'm gonna do a over 40 happy hour in Atlanta. Charlotte got pushed back, so now I'm not sure when we're gonna do Atlanta, but
Yeah.
that's coming as
Well,
well.
I'm definitely coming to the Charlotte one.
Yes,
I'm excited
absolutely.
for that.
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
Dennis. Dennis, you can close us out.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and
Thank you
we
for
would like to
coming.
thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
We'd like to tell everybody thank y'all for coming and listening to the show, and God bless y'all. And